So, I'm going to be talking to you about the Aztec religion, or as they called themselves, the Mexica. And I'm going to be talking to you about this with three different art pieces that I've made that are inspired by the Aztecs, or the Mexica, right? So, first we're going to talk about the Coyolxolqui stone. The Coyolxolqui stone is a rendition of their moon deity. Coyolxolqui was obviously pretty important to the Aztecs because it was at the bottom of the Templo Mayor 7 times, because the Templo Mayor was built 7 times over and over on top of each other. And if you don't know, the Templo Mayor, the main temple of the Aztecs at the Tenochtitlan, was very important to the Aztecs. It was aligned with the sun. Um, so this was actually found in 1978 in Mexico City by electrical workers, according to Khan Academy, and they could tell who it was because of the bells on her cheeks, because literally Coyolxolqui means bells on cheeks. So you can see that she's dismembered, so she's obviously done something wrong. But let me tell you about the birth of Huitzilopochtli, because that is why Coyolxolqui is so important. So Cualiquiu is actually the mother of the gods. Cualiquiu was the mother of Coyolxolqui and also Huitzilopochtli and also 400 of their brothers and sisters. So Cualiquiu was at the top of Snake Mountain. Snake Mountain is the realistic version of Templo Mayor. Templo Mayor is actually a representation of Snake Mountain. So at the top of Snake Mountain, Cualiquiu was sweeping. Magical feathers fell on her. She became suddenly pregnant with Huitzilopochtli, which is the war god, a very important deity in Aztec religion. So as she's impregnated with Huitzilopochtli, Coyolxolqui is storming on her with 400 of her brothers and sisters to kill their mother. And Huitzilopochtli jumps out of Cualiquiu's womb and kills Coyolxolqui. He dismembers her. He beheads her, dismembers her, and throws her down Snake Mountain, which is why she's at the bottom of Templo Mayor over and over again. It tells the birth of Huitzilopochtli. And as you can see, I wanted to highlight the scalloped parts, because those are her bones, and that's how we know that she is dismembered. And I wouldn't have noticed that if I didn't watch the Khan Academy video. And this is the original color, like I talked about, but it's kind of hard to see, right? And so we see that she has snakes on her belt, and that is representation of the importance of snakes to the Aztec culture, because it means rebirth. And speaking of rebirth, let's now talk about the sunstone, also known as the Aztec calendar. But it's not actually a calendar, it's actually an epic, or a record of all the previous ages. There are about 5 ages in total. This figure in the center was the current age, or the age that the Aztec lived, and it is the Earth Lord Tlactoculi, right? And so they believe that the age in which they were born was actually going to end in a massive earthquake. And then you'll see it goes in a counterclockwise. It starts with the age of the jaguar, the age of wind, fire, rain, and water. And then there's lots of flowers and things like that around. But these here are actually the calendar days. There are about 20 calendar days. And you have to read it starting from here, starting at crocodile, all the way to flower. And those were the different days of their week. But that is not meant to talk about a calendar, right? And so right here we can see that there are 2 fire snakes. And so, like I said, snakes are very important to the Aztec culture, according to Professor Estrada, because they mean rebirth. And now we will talk about the water deity, Tlaloc, which is on the other side of the Templo Mayor, according to Khan Academy and Professor Estrada. Tlaloc was actually a very ancient deity according to Khan Academy. He's in very many different cultures, including the Maya, and he was around in the Mexican culture for quite a long time, way before the Aztecs were even heard of, right? So this is actually a vessel, and it was found on the Tlaloc side of the temple, surrounded by a lot of seashells and other sea animals that represent him. Um, it was actually probably filled with water at one point. So we know when we see Tlaloc, according to Khan Academy, is when we see these fangs and when we see these googly eyes. And he shows up like that in so many different cultures over and over again. And so that is what I have to tell you about the Mexica religion. Thank you.